Hello. In the last video, we started this discussion on betrayal and we looked at what betrayal is. We talked about betrayal lurking around the corner anywhere there's trust. And we said there are two keywords, you know, trust and violation of trust. We said quite a lot of things, concerning betrayal. I implore you to watch that video so that we can continue today in this video and still talking about betrayal. My name is Christy and I'm delighted to welcome you to my channel. Yes, last in the last video, like I said, we captioned it handle it with care because it's a trust issue. And once trust is broken, it's always very difficult to earn it, to bring it back to what it was. You really have to work times 50 to achieve it back. Therefore, it's important that to handle it with care so that it's not broken in the first instance. Yes, I want to paint maybe two more scenarios and then talk about what you can do when you are betrayed so that you don't come out bitter, damaged, and all. So, the first one I want to quickly paint is a picture of three friends, Bemi, Bola, and Titi. Bemi and Bola, they've been friends for way back, and then Bemi introduced Titi to Bola, so the three of them became friends. They were at a party, a gathering, a party in my own part of the world. We call it Shewambe, real big party, public, everybody is there, large party, And then Titi had to use the convenience, left Bemi and Bola at the table where they were seated. And like I said, various people, random people are at a regular Shewambe party. So Titi entrusted her purse. She had valuables, of course, you know, in her purse, and then she needed to use the convenience, entrusting her purse to Bemi and Bola. By the time she came back, she just met her purse lying there on the table. Bemi and Bola were nowhere to be found. She was shocked because it could have been stolen. Anything could have happened to it. She was shocked that Bemi and Bola could just leave her purse like that, unattended. She picked it up and looked around because they had come to that party together. She looked around and saw Bemi and Bola chattering away with some people, some few yards away from, some few meters away from where the table was. So when she got to them, she tried to get their attention and was curious. Why would they leave her purse? They just shoved it aside as if, what was it? Why was she making a mountain out of a molehill? And she was being over dramatic. She was really shocked. And that gave her a lasting impression about Bemi and Bola. Trust broken. It's as simple as that, really. And we shouldn't take things just blindly, just anyhow, lackadaisically like that. She still continued to be their friends, but I'm sure you know that from that time, she was more careful, she was more attentive, especially when it comes to handling of her own things. So that's one form of betrayal. Another one, two kids, they had their lunch pack and they were supposed to, it was midday and they were supposed to eat their lunch. It was Tommy and Jerry. Tommy, of course, I don't know what he needed to do, left his lunch pack with Jerry. Whatever happened, maybe Jerry played off, whatever. Played off, but he was able to carry his own food. By the time Tommy would get back, his meal had disappeared. A mischievous boy had taken it. There was so much here and there, questioning from the teachers. What could have happened right here in the midst of everybody? How could a lunch pack just disappear like that? Tommy asked Jerry, so why did you look after my meal? I told you I was going to use the bathroom. Of course, he just ignored ignored that question. At the end of the day, they found the boy that took the meal. Of course, he had eaten it. Even if he hadn't eaten it, Tommy wasn't going to eat that meal again because he was one disappointed at Jerry, his friend. Secondly, he would never know what could have happened to that meal. So that's another kind of betrayal. Even amongst kids, you'll be shocked. A kid, a child psychologist would tell you they know what they're doing. Even at that tender age, there's a level of responsibility they already carry. So don't wave it aside as if they're kids. I'm so glad that the teachers, of course, they have been trained in children's psychology and also they called aside Jerry and told him that what he did was was not good enough. That there was a level of responsibility that was bestowed upon him, and he didn't handle it well. Even though he was not, he was just, he was not that he was reprimanded, but he was just schooled or tutored or made to learn and realize that that responsibility you ought to have handled it better. And I think that's very good. We are teaching them from that tender age the need to not only be responsible, but to know that when trust is bestowed upon you, there's the need for you not to break that trust. And I'm sure Jimmy is going to grow up a better person, learning from that experience. Yes, the two scenarios, of course, are all for illustrations. Nothing, they're for illustration only. There is nothing real about them. I just thought them up and I thought I could use them to bring home my points, making us to soak it in and understand what I'm trying to get across. Thank you very much. So now I want to talk about from the standpoint of the person at the receiving end, the one whose trust has been violated. Even in a business arrangement, like we said before, shared agreement, and somebody has walked away from that agreement. That's betrayal. So, from the standpoint of the fellow at the receiving end, the person whose trust has been betrayed, I want to just quickly talk about that before I move on to another topic, which will be the next video. First thing you have to know is that you haven't done anything wrong. Most of the time, you may not have done anything wrong. Secondly, you should know that betrayal, wherever there is trust, like we said before, betrayal is lurking around somewhere. So it's not something that is out of the blue. It could happen, and it happens every time. So note that as well. And so when it happens, you first of all calm down. That's so important. Calm down. Look at it. Try as much as possible to look at it objectively. If there's anywhere you have allowed some form of leakage or you've been negligent, try to look at it and address it. If not, because sometimes, like we said, they're not at fault. If not, then but sometimes you might have given too much information, that's a form of leakage. Too much information about yourself, overexposed yourself and all, you know. Because like we reiterated previously, is usually it happens. Betrayal occurs you get betrayed by a trusted fellow. And a trusted fellow is somebody you must have opened yourself up to. You must have been vulnerable in the presence of that person. The person must have known so much about you. And I don't know how we're going to be able to contain that or curtail it. Because we're human beings, you have to talk to somebody anyway. So, and we said that sometimes you may not even have overexposed yourself, even from the little that the fellow knows about you, he or she can still betray you. So just know that betrayal is something that happens, and you do not have to beat yourself because of that. What I mean by that is, do not begin to chastise yourself. If I knew, had I known, no, 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 it's not the time to do that. It's the time to look at it very well, to readjust, and to heal, because sometimes it can be very devastating. Heal from the trauma. Don't let the experience damage you. Don't let it define you as a person. Because if you do not handle it well, after being traumatized, you can go into depression. It can lead to mental instability. Therefore, look out for yourself, pick up yourself quickly, and if need be, if it's something you cannot handle all by yourself, do not hesitate to seek help. Yes, counseling, therapy, and all. After you have done that, ensure that you heal and then move ahead with your life and forgive that person, to release yourself and to have peace, to really be above the situation. You know, you need to release that person, forgive that person, and believe me, you're actually forgiving yourself. You have actually healed. You have actually, left that situation behind. Of course, it's not likely that you forget, but forgive so that you release yourself from that terrible experience. Again, you need to readjust, you need to redefine your relationship with that person who has betrayed you. And whatever lesson you have learned from that experience, please keep it and use it in subsequent experience, your subsequent interaction, your subsequent relationships. Yes, without juxtaposing that experience or that person on another person, because we're all individuals, we're all different, we all have our idiosyncrasies. If you now put that person, that experience you had with that friend, and place it on the new person, you'll be doing yourself a lot of harm. That's why I'm saying that if this is too complicated for you, please seek help so that you live your life and enjoy it to the fullest. Life is beautiful. Thank you very much. I may come back on this, but for now, thank you for listening to me. Please remember, subscribe to my channel, like, share my videos. Thank you very much. Bye.